Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome. Happy Monday. Welcome, 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 welcome. It's a new day, it's a new week. I have a suspicion that this week is going to be an awesome, fantastic week. I'm speaking that right now. But welcome. Today is Monday, January 30th, 2023. And I want to welcome you to Purpose Journey Counseling LLC Reloaded. We are still reloaded this year, and we are grateful to be here. It is 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And whether you're catching us live at 7 a.m. or you watch this later in the day, later in the week, later in the month, later in the year, we want to say welcome to you. My name is Dr. Natatu North, and I am the owner and therapist of Purpose Journey Counseling LLC, located in Cincinnati, Ohio, where it's cold. But we are live. Again, it's 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And the YouTube link for this broadcast is posted on Instagram. So we do ask that you just take just a few moments to like this broadcast, like anything else you see on our pages. Please follow us on your preferred social media platform. That's so hard to say. Social media platform, or all of them is fine. All of it's fine. But we do ask that even if you don't watch us on YouTube, can you please subscribe? Please, please, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would greatly appreciate that. And also, please share this broadcast. And lastly, I know it's a lot, but it only takes a few seconds to do this. Please interact and engage in the comments section. As I always say, in the morning, we're limited for time. So I don't always have the opportunity to respond to comments I don't have the opportunity to respond to comments while we're live. However, I love to go back and read them later. So please, 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 let's engage. I also want to share this information. We always want to have this information available, and we always ask that you please just store the numbers in your phone. The number for the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, that number is 1-800-273-8255. The number is 24/7. Please put that number in your phone. And also the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, the number is 988. As I always say, you just never know when it might be necessary or needed to have this information. So please store it in your I said it right this time, cellular devices. So please, please, please have that information available. So today is Monday, and on Mondays, we have a Monday message. So today, yes, I'm in Cincinnati, but I'm not going to talk about what you think I might be talking about. Not doing it this morning. I fought the urge, but I'm not going to do that. Not doing that this morning. So not going to do that. So, but I want to ask this question to all of you this morning. Whenever you're watching this, I want you to ask yourself, if you all watch us periodically or on a regular basis, I love questions. I am a therapist. I love questions. And my question for you this morning, my first question, what are you aiming for? That is a huge question. What are you aiming for? Now, when I was thinking about this message, I immediately went to the game of basketball because that is my favorite sport. Like I said, we're not talking about the Bengals today. We're not talking about them. We're not really talking about basketball either, but it made me think of basketball. But there's a lot of sports where you're aiming, like when you're throwing darts, you're aiming. If you play baseball, the pitcher's aiming to throw the ball at the batter. But what are you aiming for in your life? Today is January 30th. We actually only have one more day in the first month of the new year. And I know a lot of times at the beginning of the year, people make vision boards or people do New Year's resolutions, and whatever it is that you do, a lot of times people just set goals at the beginning of the year. And, people joke around and say, oh, well, people only set those goals and they only do it for the first month of the year. And then they fall off for the first quarter or, the first couple of months. But one of the things I would love to say, just to support and encourage those of you who set goals, be proud of yourself for setting goals. Be proud of yourself that you're actually aiming for something. Sometimes, yes, we might be aiming towards something and then we kind of slack off. but you have to be aiming towards something. We want to be aiming towards achieving something. It's good. It's a great thing to at least know what you're aiming for. So I want you to ask yourself this morning, what are you aiming for? Even if it's something that you thought about, at the beginning of the month and you haven't done it, or maybe you didn't think about anything that you wanted to aim for this year. It's not too late to decide what you are aiming for, or to make those plans right now. So then I'll have a follow-up question. Are you aiming for anything? And if you're not, why not? Did someone tell you that you couldn't achieve it? Did someone tell you that you weren't going to get there? Did you feel like you didn't have enough money, or you don't have enough passion, or you don't have enough drive, or you're lacking the motivation, or you just kind of feel like blah? Sometimes, let's face it, sometimes we just feel blah. Sometimes we just feel like we're not going to be able to do what it is that we want to do, or we can't achieve what we want to achieve. Sometimes that's why we're not aiming for anything, because we're so used to missing that shot. We're so used to missing that shot that we stop aiming for it. We stop trying to achieve things because we've never made that shot before. We've never gotten that far before. But I'm here to encourage you this morning about taking advantage of the opportunity to have goals, set goals, but to be aiming for something. If you're not aiming for anything, if you're not trying to get anywhere, it's going to be very, very hard to actually make a target if you're not actually aiming. Now, sometimes, we do great things, or we do achieve different things in our lives, and it's not necessarily something that we've been planning for a long time. Sometimes, we just, could be positioned and we're doing some of the right things. We just don't necessarily realize, like, wow, that really set me up for success. But I want to encourage you this morning to be aiming for something, to be working towards something. And I know I've probably said this on here before. It's great to have lists. It's great to set goals. It's great to say, you know what? This is what I want to do this year. These are the things that I'm aiming for this year. I know I did it yesterday afternoon. I just sat in my living room. I have this list of things that I wrote at the end of 2022. It says end of 2022/2023. I don't typically do resolutions. No judging for those that do. I haven't done a vision board yet. I think I actually need to do one this year. Really need to do one. I need to see it, not just on a list. But I actually sat with my list yesterday and I said, wow, you really do have some things on here, but are you really aiming towards these things? You have to be able to identify what you're aiming towards. But at the same time, even if I've identified this list, I have to ask myself, do I have the shot? Can I make that shot? Am I positioning myself to make that shot? Again, I think about basketball. And I went to my daughter's game on Saturday, so maybe that's why I'm thinking about basketball. But you got to really think about it, because sometimes we just throw up a Hail Mary. Sometimes it's an air ball. Sometimes we just flat out miss. But so you have to ask yourself, do you have the shot? Are you in the right position? Is your form correct? Are you doing the right things to make that shot? Do you have the shot? Sometimes you're in those situations where it's crunch time, and sometimes we have the shot, but sometimes we don't take the shot. So sometimes we're not positioned correctly. Sometimes we're just kind of like winging it, but sometimes we just don't take the shot. Sometimes we're in the right place. We have the form, everything's together, but sometimes we're afraid. We're scared that we're not going to be able to do it. And sometimes we just need to catch and shoot. I don't know who this is for this morning. I don't know who this is for, but somebody's in the right position. Somebody's where they need to be. The ball, that somebody's ready to throw you the ball. Somebody's about to throw you that ball. Or if it's a dark, whatever it is, but we're talking about basketball right now. Catch and shoot. Somebody's about to throw that ball to you, and you need to catch and shoot, and you're going to make it. Or let's say you don't make that shot. It will teach you how to readjust your thinking, readjust your planning, readjust your form. So the next time you'll make that shot. But you have to be aiming for it. You got to know what it is that you're aiming for. Ask yourself if you have the shot. Sometimes you might be able to catch and shoot, but the bottom line is, I love it. Shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. Sometimes we have not achieved the things that we want to achieve in life because we have not taken this advice. We have not taken the chance to shoot our shot. Sometimes we really do. Well, I didn't have the shot. Sometimes we did. And we just did not take full advantage of the opportunity to shoot our shot. So I want to encourage you this morning. Yes, identify these things to be working towards these different things, but then you got to execute. You got to execute because it's not just gonna just happen. You got to put yourself in the right position, work on your form, but know what you're aiming for today. If it's making a list, if it's a vision board, whatever it is that helps motivate you to get you going, whether it's talking to someone about it, sometimes it's speaking to our friends. Sometimes our friends give us so much motivation and push us and give us so much drive to do the things that we need to do because we can encourage each other. And this is the whole reason for these messages, to encourage each other, because we all need to be working towards something. And sometimes you just need to know someone else is rooting for you so that you feel motivated to do it. And I'm just saying, I may not know who you are. I don't have to know you, but I'm rooting for you today, that you're doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, that you're actualizing these goals, and you're actually putting them to action, and you're doing the things that you need to do, because guess what? You will not score if you do not shoot. I just want to do that. I love basketball. I cannot play basketball, but I love basketball. But you will not score if you do not shoot. What are you aiming for this morning? I'm going to put that back up there. What are you aiming for this today, this week, this year, the next 5 years? You know, I would say it's good to make short-term goals, sometimes even medium-term goals and long-term goals. What are those goals? What are you aiming for? What are you aiming for? But if you're in position to take that shot, you better shoot your shot, or you will not score if you do not shoot. So it's more than just aiming. You got to actually take the shot. So that's our Monday message for this morning. I love basketball. So we're not talking about football today. It's a touchy subject. So we're not going to do that this morning. But shoot a shot. So our tag for Purpose Journey Counseling, as always, every time we're together, is to be loving, to be kind, be compassionate, and be intentional towards others as well as towards yourselves. I want to share this information because this is Sunday. This upcoming Sunday will already be the first Sunday in February. Hashtag from a Christian, hashtag from a therapist with Dr. Natatu. Our podcast, episode 9, will be Sunday, February 5th, 2023 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join us. I have a sneaky suspicion that the flyer will be released today with the actual title. So you have to pay attention to our social media platforms to see that. And then on Wednesday, I'll share it. But please pay attention to social media today to see the flyer for Sunday. So again, as always, we thank you so much for joining us this morning, for spending some time with us, whether you catch this later in the day, later in the week, later in the month, later in the year. We still thank you for spending some time with us. Lord willing, we will see you Wednesday for Wednesday Wisdom live at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I just want you to ask yourself again, what are you aiming for? What are you aiming for? Then you got to shoot your shot. So again, thank you so much for joining us. Have a marvelous, magnificent Monday, and blessings and love to each and